For the last 2 days we set for the tamru event again, and usually we set it only on one day, but because we have a competition in December, I wanted to prepare the team with more time and try to set a couple of final blocks as well. So we decided to start on Thursday this time. We set 3 blocks for the men and 3 blocks for the women, and we talked lots and lots about in which order to start, which modus and how hard they should be, how tricky, and which style, and how to make them easier, faster, and how to make them harder. And I think it worked out quite good. The blocks look really good, and because we had so much time, I think we tweaked it a little bit easier the whole session, and I think it turned out fine.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Jake, what did you think of like setting for 2 days and trying to set for the first day only final blocks?
I found the first day quite hard. There's a lot more discussion, which is good. Personally, I find it hard to get into the flow.
Yeah.
I need to set like 3, 4, 5 blocks to really get going.
Yeah.
But without doubt, we've got some amazing final blocks from the first day. They're really good.
Yeah. Usually, like when you set a competition, you start with the finals first or a semi-final round. That makes it really hard because your first block of the day just have to turn out quite good. And sometimes you have something, you imagine something in your head and it just does not work out. But I think we made a good job, and let's see how the blocks turn out. Okay, bye, have fun.
I really like my green. I really like it because it's dynamic. It's kind of it's one of those cool palm down rollovers, but your feet cut loose and you come into almost like a human flag. I wanted to make it climb well, but also look good. So the volumes are all the same color, and the holds are all green spheres. They look like little blobs on the wall. They look very cool.
It doesn't feel like it's going to work, but then you start moving and it starts working.
For this block we added another volume underneath the lid to establish yourself a little bit better in a stable position and to be able to push harder. Also, the hold you are going to with your left hand is on top of the volume instead of an undercut underneath it, so it makes it a little bit easier to establish the move.
I think it looks phenomenal. I'm just saying, I think it looks phenomenal. I'm just saying, I don't know whether it's the fact that I've been looking at it for 2 days and I've kind of like lost all sense of what things should look like, but I think it looks really good. Yeah, maybe I have. I think I have. I lost it a long time ago. I lost it yesterday. Well. So yeah, I wanted to set like a techie vert climb with the big flat hold volumes. And it's cool. It's got some really good movement in it. It's got like a rollover, and you kind of have to deaden the swing with your left hand, and then you've got like a palm down rollover to finish. I was very happy with it. I think it's good because the crux move, I think, is probably the first move, so you can get on it and you can try it over and over and over, and then once you stick it, it's not over by any means, but it's just like it's just a palm down to finish, which is quite nice. And the first move is really fun to keep doing over and over. You can do it static and you can do it kind of dynamic, which is kind of cool. Yeah, probably weighs in maybe like V5-ish, maybe like hard V5.
Like, was it worth it? Was it good for you, setting the tamru for 2 days?
2 days, I would say yes.
What was the biggest difference for you?
Just spending more time on blocks, tweaking stuff for longer. It felt like it was more thought out in terms of setting the blocks, as opposed to maybe if you're setting it for 1 day being like a mad rush. So it was a lot better. Yeah, we spent a lot of time on the blocks. They look wicked. Yeah, it was overall, I think, really good experience. Yeah.
How was it for you, like setting 2 days for tamru and starting with the final blocks?
Oh yeah, it was cool. It was really good. I think it's funny because we had more time, but it didn't feel like it was, you know, an easier day's work. It just meant that we put more time and care into the blocks, and we could, you know, spend the time testing and tweaking until it was exactly right. And I guess we were using like lots of volume, so it was good if we needed to move the volumes to the right places. Yeah, I really liked it. Had a lot of fun.
Our first block for the men's finals was supposed to be this yellow traverse from the right to the left, and it started far on the right. You had to climb around the corner onto the 2 volumes, and then furthermore to the left it was quite a long boulder, and after we figured out how to get onto the volumes, you only had to solve the sequence how to get your left foot onto the left volume. That was really weird, and we needed a lot of time to figure this out.
Toho, that's it, Toho.
I'm on!
On the left triangle we added another screw on for your hand to offer some guidance how to get into this weird position. We skipped 2 more holes on the left side because we just don't need them anymore. And for the last move, the added handhold also helps for your feet. After a couple of tries we solved the problem getting onto the triangles, but we had a lot of different moves in mind and a lot of different solutions. I suggested that we just keep it more simple, and we should decide to go for one option how to get onto the volumes. So we attached another triangle on the arret so that it looks a little bit simpler and cleaner, and the move was a little bit more intimidating to get onto the triangle on your left and how to shift your weight over to the left.
Thank you. Good. Did you learn something? Like, did it?
I think so. Yeah. I think, especially when it comes to setting for a comp, I feel like it's quite easy to be like kind of precious about your moves, and it's like you don't want to make it easier because you really like the move, or you don't want to make it harder because the moves are right. But you kind of have to sacrifice that to get the level right, because that's the most important thing about the comp, is to make sure the level's exactly right. So we kind of went into that in a bit of depth, and yeah, I think that was like, yeah, that was, yeah, definitely learned something about that. Yellow up the middle, like the super dynamic thing, that was my first block yesterday. So I had like loads of space, all the good holds, all the good volumes. So yeah, I think that's the favourite one that I've set. You can't really do the block without 100% commitment, so yeah, I don't know, maybe if someone's like brave enough to try it, give 100%, then yeah, hopefully do it. I hope people do it. I guess it's, you know, that's kind of why we set it, is for people to do our stuff, so yeah, I hope someone does it.
Yeah.
After sanding the boulder for the first time, Matt decided to stay and keep it dynamic, so we started working on adding a second jump after the first jump, and that's really good.
I think it worked. It only took me like 5 minutes to set. Like it was really, really quick. I'd already put the volumes up from the yellow that I set earlier in the day. But no tweaking, it just went up really well. Super easy to set, but just one of those magic blocks where it just happens.
Mega.
Yeah, I think it's a V3. Like super accessible. You just need to use your body and not try and pull on everything.
What did you think of like setting 2 days for the tamru?
Yeah, it was good. It was definitely like much slower towards the end today. We had more time to get everything really nice. Yeah, less rushed,
And
which was good.
was it hard for you at the first day starting with final blocks?
I didn't mind it so much. I found it harder today after doing the finals blocks yesterday and like being really psyched on that, and then today coming in and trying to sort of set the rest of it. When you had, yeah, I think I found today harder than yesterday.
Would you do it again, or would you rather like get back to setting it on one day?
No, I definitely do it again. I think some, like especially the finals blocks, I think they're really great. So I think, yeah, definitely do it again.
Cool.